Hello everyone, my name is David. Today, Jonathan and I are going to showcase the new identity benchmark. This benchmark helps shape Vault using entities, aliases, and groups. The three main use cases are database shaping, logging in with aliases, and group read. Some assumptions that we'll be making is that you already have familiarity with what benchmark is used for, you have experience using multiple single and mixed targets, and you kind of already understand the identity object concepts, so the entities, aliases, and groups within Vault.
So let's get into the first thing that you'll primarily be using this target for, which is going to be database shaping, or in other words, putting a bunch of things into Vault and seeing what happens. So we can use the populate mode so that it doesn't actually clean up anything and doesn't actually run any tests. It just sets everything up, and you can see that you have a choice between entity count, alias count, and group count. These are pretty self-explanatory, but the general rule of thumb is you must choose at least one. You can have entities by themselves, groups by themselves, even entities and groups as well. But we definitely want at least one to make sure that we actually can populate with something.
The second problem that we're tackling is randomized login validation. The reasoning behind this workload is to really check that the entities that we're creating are correct and that they're fully usable. The thing that the benchmark actually does is randomly logs in using the users, and it just checks that the entities were provisioned correctly and that they're fully usable. So some of the configurations that we have are workload, in this case will be login. We have the entity count, which is the amount of entities. User count is the amount of users that are created during setup. In general, shouldn't touch user count because to make users is a very costly process. Although, if needed, it's there.
Moving into the third problem, we have something called group read. You can see that group read, it sets up entities into groups and reads the location of the groups that we set up. You may have some questions regarding groups field in and of itself. So with this field, you can choose the preset of balance, empty, max. So just to give you a quick rundown of how that works, balance spreads evenly the entities between the groups. So if you have 100 entities and 10 groups, then you'll have 10 entities in each group. What about empty? That means it doesn't matter how many entities there are, these groups will stay empty. And then max will be putting every single entity into every one of these groups. So if you have 100 entities, then each 10 of the groups will have the same 100 entities. Of course, look at the documentation for the most up-to-date information, as well as looking at the tests and running the tests by yourself.
In conclusion, this tool was created to help emulate production Vault environments. So whether you have 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 entities, that can all be created with this benchmark. It also helps to reduce the time that engineers take to shape Vault. For example, Sean, one of our engineers, said that he took 30 minutes to make a couple thousand entities. Usually that process would take hours. So it's definitely a lot faster than just using the CLI. Some of the future changes that we have in mind are like custom policy assignments, even assigning multiple aliases per entity. Again, those are just more ways to help shape Vault. Thank you so much for watching our video and have a great day. Bye-bye.